Oh, hello and welcome back. This episode, we're talking all things nutrition, what I've been eating to try and get a six-pack, also what a healthy diet looks like. Let me quickly remind you, I'm having a midlife crisis. I'm ticking off all the previous ambitions, first of which is to get a six-pack and 10% body fat by the time I'm 40. I've got a lot of experts helping me along the way and giving me advice. I've been to My Vital Metrics. I saw Owen. He did some scans and tests on me. I'm starting this at 21.8% body fat. In the last episode, we met James. He's a gym owner, and we were talking all things health and fitness. I've been running away from my problems, or running towards success, depending on how you look at it. Been working my little butt off in the gym, or you know what? There's 2 more episodes. Just watch them. Christ's sake. Watch them, please. Well, welcome to a very special edition. Did you laugh already?
Sorry.
It's okay. We're going to meet the love of my life, my partner. We're going to meet Jaden. So this kind of means one of 2 things. Either you are a figment of my imagination, I've just been lied to by everybody, and it's kind of like a Shutter Island kind of deal where everyone has to play along because it's part of my kind of what's it called?
Shtick?
No, not shtick. This is a shtick. Part of my thing that makes you better. Oh my god, why's it falling out of my head? It's always part of my treatment. Jesus. Or you just don't want to be filmed. We'll let you decide. Jaden, what are your thoughts on me attempting this challenge?
Honestly, I didn't think it was something that you would, I guess, put your mind to it, put in so much effort. I think in the past, like when we have cut down on these things before we go on a certain thing, or like if you want to hit a certain goal, we do it, we eat healthier for maybe a week or 2, and then it kind of like, fizzles out. It's gone on for like a month now and you've been nothing but disciplined.
So what you're saying is normally I flake out of things, whereas this time I'm not?
You've been very disciplined about it like this whole time, and it's amazing. Well, I get to reap some of the benefits of it as well. I want to say we eat healthier because we really do eat healthier, but like it just feels like we eat more cleanly. While I may not be privy to the whole entire like cooking process, like I can tell that I don't feel as maybe tired. I don't feel...
You have more energy throughout the day. You're making those small adjustments, like we quite like having some form of eggs and something for breakfast, right? So instead of having kind of the pork sausages, which are quite high in calories, in fact, just substituting them for something a little less.
Just small bits and pieces that when we are talking about cutting down, it's not really cutting down, it's just substituting it for something that still tastes quite similar.
Yeah.
But the sausages don't taste the same. But like,
you hate the sausages, it's fine.
I keep going back to it because I've never had chicken sausages.
Thought I'd just give you a little cheeky update on the bod. As you may remember, this is where I started the challenge and referred to myself as a slug man. 6 weeks on, and it's looking different. I can't deny that I'm still not fond of what I'm seeing, but I can objectively see things are changing. Things are going in the right direction, and I am pretty happy. Well, that was until my weight. So the past kind of week, it hasn't really moved. It's gone a little bit up, a little bit down. Perhaps it's time to have a look at the calories. Maybe it's time for them to drop. I don't know. It's freaking me out, man. I need some help. I need to meet an expert.
I'm a registered dietitian, and a nutritionist. The 2 are slightly different though. So a registered dietitian is registered with the Health and Care Professions Council. So you have to have done a degree, and it's a very sort of rigorous process to go through. Nutritionists can be anybody. So one of the things that I always say to people is just make sure if you are seeing a nutritionist, see a qualified one. It is a bit of a Wild West out there.
Yeah.
So I'm a registered dietitian and I do all sorts of things. So I've worked in the NHS, but at the moment I see people one-to-one in clinic. I do things like this, and I work for businesses and do meal planning and all sorts of things like that. So it's a really varied job.
Is there anything in particular that you kind of see day to day or through your clients that is quite worrying in terms of information that's kind of currently out there?
It's a bit of a cliche these days, but to say it, but social media.
Yeah.
We are surrounded by food all of the time. So everybody does have an opinion, and also people struggle because, we're living in an food environment which is not necessarily good for us. And so there's all sorts of problems that people want to fix that opens up a market for people to give their opinions. And it's not necessarily evidence-based.
I think it's very difficult for people to navigate the right way to go. Problem that's been kind of created by society is how we've kind of developed over the past maybe 30 years or so, how the need for convenience, the need for kind of fast answers. It makes nutrition look really complex, in my opinion.
Nutrition and the biochemistry of nutrition is complicated.
Yes.
There's a lot going on in the body. But actually, when you're translating that into everyday advice for people, the way that I usually start a consultation is by actually explaining to people how the body uses nutrients. And really, there's 3 parts to a healthy, balanced diet. There's what you eat, which is your food groups. There's when you eat, which is your meal pattern. And then there's how much you eat, which is your portion sizes. And really, that's as complicated as it gets. The other thing I talk about is actually the plate model. So this is something which can really, really simplify eating well. So if you fill half of your plate with vegetables or a mixture of fruit and veg, a quarter with carbohydrates and a quarter with protein, the chances of you getting everything you need and not too much of what you don't are really high.
Yeah, I remember the plate model from school. Okay, so it's not a new concept by any means. It just kind of highlighted how much these kind of bad things or things we see online about just eating this one food or cutting this out or you're doing this wrong, it's just all a bit bullshit, really. And if we just went back to kind of simplifying things a lot, I feel like we'll be a lot more successful. Anyway, that's me. This is me running. I use the nasal strips now, so I can actually breathe now, which is nice.
Over time, different foods have different health halos. So there was a really big health halo on coconut oil. Now protein has the health halo, and protein is really important. Just adding protein bars into your day isn't going to solve any problems. The best sources of protein have all the micronutrients that you need. So things like the amino acids that we need to make new proteins in the body. Also things like fiber. So things like beans, beans and lentils, they have iron, they have micronutrients we need. It's not just the protein by itself. It's about getting all of those things in one go.
The app that I'm using, MacroFactor, has suggested me eating, I think, 194 grams of protein a day, which is difficult. By the way, I find that very tricky. And it's kind of reduced the amount of fat intake. I think it's around 70 grams-ish of fat, and the rest of grams is in carbohydrates.
So the trouble with macros and counting your macros is that we don't eat macros, eat food. And it's really difficult, and it increases the mental load of this kind of activity when you're thinking, oh God, I can't have that because then that's going to push up my fat, and then that's going to, make my carbohydrates all wrong, and you're trying to constantly balance it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that having a balanced diet is bad. What I'm saying is it's difficult to start with a number and end up with a balanced diet. The limitations on fats that you have in the macros you're following now, eating good fats is quite a good thing to do for your good cholesterol.
Yeah.
And so, but if you're sort of saying, oh, well, I'm not going to have that avocado because actually that's going to push me above my fat limit for the day, it's those kinds of things which are problematic.
Yeah.
The evidence shows that for most people, like the vast majority of people, having about 1 gram of protein per kilo of body weight is plenty, and actually your body's not going to be able to use any more than that. There's definitely exceptions, but when you're putting excess protein into your body, actually that does put pressure on all sorts of different systems. So for example, when you metabolize protein, it gets broken down into its amino acids, and actually one of the waste products is ammonia, which gets dissolved in urea, which ends up can actually irritate the bladder, put pressure on your kidneys, all of these things.
Which is a concern because I have had kidney stones in the past as well. So something that I'm constantly watching, because you don't want to get those. Don't get kidney stones ever. I think the reason that the app and from my Vitametrics have have kind of suggested a higher protein is around kind of gaining more muscle and maintaining it in a calorie deficit. And that's what kind of I hear a lot through this kind of information.
What people end up doing is relying on those heavily processed forms of protein, protein bars and protein shakes, in order to get just the protein without anything else. I had a client fairly recently who was on a high protein diet, and he was having 8 eggs for breakfast every single day.
Seems like a lot.
It is a lot. And although eggs are a really good source of protein, actually, if you have an omelette and you've got some, onion and red peppers and mushrooms and spinach in that is going to be way more nutritious and good for you than just having 8 eggs. It's about getting that balance. It's not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Oh, that's a great one. Firstly, I do need to congratulate Jo on the pun of the episode. That was absolutely fantastic. But leave the jokes to me, Jo. Protein's a bit of a funny one, isn't it? So I was under the impression that you're supposed to eat around 2 times your body weight or in kilograms versus grams of protein. However that makes sense. You know what I mean? If you weigh 100 kilograms, you're supposed to eat 200 grams of protein. I think this is more around like sports nutrition in terms of building muscle. So I am going to try to still hit that goal. But let's now take a look at some of the food that I've been cooking. Feel free to comment on my food if you think it looks good, if you think it looks like Doug's dinner. I'll start off with a bit of porridge here. Pretty basic, isn't it? I don't often eat porridge though. It's only if I'm doing a very long run and to give me a little bit of energy. But chicken salad, cannot go wrong with that. Although that would be a very boring chicken salad if not for that sauce there that I made, which is pretty much just low fat or no fat yogurt with a Chinese chili dressing thing. Bit of Thai basil pork. This is a delicious one. So depending on how naughty you want to be, this is with 5% fat pork. You can have a little bit more high percentage, but obviously the calories are going to go up. A little bit of a prawn tofu salad here. So that's the same dressing, by the way, but this is a nice fresh one actually. That was pretty tasty. And a little bit of risotto. So with my healthy risottos, I tend to leave out things like the butter. That's kind of one way of keeping it down a bit. The cheese sauce on this. So think bechamel with a bit of cheese. The steak there looks dry as fuck, but let me tell you, it's not. It's fine. But that's a pretty tasty one. So with the chicken, I've gone for thighs here for a little bit of taste. If I wanted to reduce the calories, I'd change that to breast. A bit of marinade. It's good to go. Very wholesome one. A bit of dal. So I made this with black bean. There's a friend that I knew years ago called Navni. If you're out there, you taught me how to make curry. Thank you. Are you interested in seeing me cook these things? If you are, drop a comment. Show me the cooking. Pork with some bean curd again. A Chinese friend of mine taught me how to cook this one. I just tend to grab recipes of people I know because I like variety. Oh, remember when I said that I'm going to go out for dinner in the last episode? Well, here we are. Here it is. And I used the AI feature on Macrofactor, and it kind of came back with these macros. So it's around 444 calories. It was quite small, so perhaps it was right. I'm not too sure. What do you guys think?
What sort of fluid intake do you have?
Just a cup of coffee in the morning, that's it. No, just joking. Can you imagine?
The recommendations in this country are 2.5 litres for men and 2 litres for women, at least. But there are so many variables. If you are exercising, if you are sweating, if you are talking a lot, if you have a very high intake of fibre, all of those things will affect how much fluid you need to have. If you are feeling alert and you're feeling energetic and your digestion is working really well, actually those are good signs that you are getting enough. If you've got room for improvement in any of those things, have an extra glass of water. And I'd say also, nobody really feels worse after a glass of water. When you're sweating, you are losing body fluids, okay? The effect that has, basically, it makes your blood thicker and stickier. When you get thicker, stickier blood, it's harder for the heart to pump around the body and to get enough oxygen to all of the cells and the muscles. And so your heart rate can go up, and this can lead to fatigue, much sooner than if you are properly hydrated. And when we're talking about replacing fluids, the other thing I wanted to mention is that your body absorbs about half of the fluids that you actually drink. Even small changes to diet and small changes to sleep can impact how you feel the next day and the day after that. And, doing small amounts of exercise one day can actually affect what your blood sugar is doing 2 days later. These things are all linked, and it's really hard to separate them. And if you make small changes to all of these different aspects of your life, you will just feel better. And although it can be quite difficult in the modern world to maintain those changes, actually that's one of the reasons why small changes and small incremental changes are often better than like crazy ones.
Peekaboo. So this idea of small changes, James also spoke about this in the last episode. I've got to say, it's something that I've really taken on board from both experts. I've been making these small changes and increments and increasing the amount of exercise that I'm doing. And I think because I've taken that gradual approach, I've been more successful already. This is the complete opposite mentality that I used to have. Although I've heard this before and I've known that this was the right thing to do, I've never actually followed through with it. I don't know why. But let me think about that a little bit longer whilst you like and subscribe. Click the buttons. Do the things, please.
Actually, initially, people get through on the motivation.
Yeah.
I'm doing this new thing now. And you might see changes. That is quite motivating at first. But it's the like, oh God, after you've been doing it for 2 or 3 weeks, like, really? Am I going to do this again? After the initial changes, actually, you may not, things might slow down. So, you know, if you've lost a bit of weight because you've changed the way you've eaten, actually that might stop. You might plateau, and actually that's really disheartening and demotivating.
Initially, obviously, just comes off straight away, doesn't it? And then that plateau, I think there was probably about 4 or 5 days where it's just exactly the same number. And because this is a challenge and because I'm competitive, I'm like, why isn't it going down?
Actually, that plateau is a really important part. If you are, let's say you are 90 kilos, you have the hormone profile of somebody who is 90 kilos. If you then lose 5 kilos, you then still have the hormone profile of somebody who is 90 kilos, but you're only 85. And actually, hormones have, depending on which one it is, have a fairly long half-life. And so your body will enforce a plateau so that you don't end up, because hormones are chemical messengers. They tell our cells what to do. If you've got too many of them going around, everything is kind of haywire.
Yeah.
And so your body will enforce a kind of a plateau so you don't lose any more weight until you've got new hormones that have been made at the, you know, correct level for an 85 kilo person. It can take the body a little bit of time to go, hang on a minute, this isn't just a one-off, like this is consistently lower calories. And so what ends up happening is metabolism slows down in order to match the calories coming in. If we are going through a period of famine, which calorie restriction sort of is mimicking, actually our bodies just adjust so that we're not burning too many calories. You know, when we see people losing weight and restricting their calories, metabolism, the cells stop working on tip-top form. That makes us feel sluggish and tired, you know, and our whole biology, our whole evolution is telling us you need to eat more or do less.
Well, this makes quite a bit of sense, doesn't it? I mean, I've lost quite a lot of weight over the first 5 weeks, so perhaps it's just my body stabilising, my hormones and that kind of plateau that we've just spoken about. However, when this has happened in the past, that would just be it. I would not carry on. I'd hit the wall and that would be it, and I would just give up. And it's that feeling that, oh, I'm trying so hard and nothing's happening. When in reality, you've just got to give it time. And I'm taking the approach that this is a long-term change. Things aren't going to happen overnight, but I think I'll continue to lose weight and I think I'm still going in the right direction. Something that I didn't realise was such a big problem now is the rise of kind of Ozempic and Manjaro. Are you seeing kind of anything around that in your clinics at all?
Yes. So what I started to see last year was people coming to me with hair loss, low energy, poor sleep, dry skin. Basically, these are signs of malnutrition. So when you have something like one of these GLP-1 drugs, it takes away appetite and makes you feel full, which is really useful in the age of food noise, they call it. So everywhere you look, there's a billboard or there's an advert or there's, you know, something in your cupboard or whatever. When you don't have that kind of like eat me going, you know, in the background, it becomes much easier to just not eat. Although you possibly don't need as many calories, actually you still need as many nutrients. And unless you are really eating cleverly, making sure you're getting all those micronutrients, vitamins and minerals and, you know, enough protein actually it's very easy to just not eat and then just maybe have some pasta. And actually there's no nutrients in that really. It's kind of empty calories.
Yeah.
And it might sort of fill you up in the moment, but actually over time it leads to deficiencies and like just feeling really, really depleted. The problem I'm seeing more now actually is I'm still seeing those problems, but now the price of Manjaro has doubled. People can't afford to take it, and so they've stopped taking it, and now they're just going back to eating the way they were eating before. And there was a study that came out really recently that shows that people who have taken it and lost lots of weight actually gain weight more quickly than if they'd just done a calorie controlled diet. It's really important that you still learn how to eat well. So bringing weight down when you need to lose weight can be really good for your health. It's actually about learning how to eat and how to feel good and get all of the nutrients that you need. And I went to a training webinar from the people who make Manjaro. One of the questions was, how do you stop taking it? Like, what do we need to titrate it? Do we need to stop slowly, do half doses? And their message was, no, this isn't a drug that you stop taking. You take it forever.
I mean, Big Pharma, they're out to get us, right? Quite clear that the system's set up for us to fail. So originally this drug was made for people with obesity, but now it's being made available for anybody that can afford it, really. There's not enough barriers in the way to sense check if somebody actually needs this kind of medication. And obviously Big Pharma's not going to do anything about that because they're making a shit ton of money. And don't get me wrong, I can completely see why people would go towards this kind of drug. If they've been in a place where they can't see any change and they can't see any kind of light at the end of the tunnel, I completely get it. Jo and I spoke about so many different topics. If you are interested in knowing more, let me know in the comments and I can put a full episode together of the full interview. One final thing, obviously the goal of this challenge is based around aesthetic. When and if I achieve that, is that something that you're looking forward to? Is it something you need me to have in order for us to be a happy couple?
No, absolutely not. As in, obviously I'm looking forward to it in the sense that I've never seen you like that before, and I think it'll be quite aesthetically pleasing, but I don't think I've told you.
You can talk about your preferences.
Yeah, I've told you my preferences are towards bigger guys.
Would you class yourself as a chubby chaser?
No, you'll be very different. And I think once you succeed in this challenge, notice how I'm saying once, I think you'll find that healthy ground of, being able to eat what you want, but also healthily. I think that will be a net positive, I guess. But going back to the question, I don't need you to look a certain way to be in love with you. Yeah.
So what you're saying is I'm absolutely perfect and I don't need to do anything to change. That's beautiful. Thanks, Mike. But yeah, just before we sign off, I do want to say to Pixar that there is no copyright infringement within this. It's probably not a legitimate doll, so therefore you can't see me. But you could sponsor me if you want. If anybody that's watching this, if anybody watches this, sorry, would like to know more or get in contact with yourself, you're obviously based in London, but I know that you've got clients kind of here, there and everywhere, right?
Yeah, so I've got 2 clinics in London, so one in the city and one in Harley Street, but I also see clients online as well. So if they want to get in touch with me, they can email me at jo@thelondonnutritionist.co.uk, or they can go and visit my website, or they can see me on Instagram.
Yeah, let's up those 2,000 followers.
Yes, I do definitely need more of those. Absolutely. Yeah, it's at LDN Nutritionist.
Lovely stuff. Well, we'll have all the links down below. Me again. It's about me, so you can see more of me, a lot more. Still awkward on the camera. Cool. 6 weeks. Done 6 weeks now. Officially 6 weeks over. On the whole, again, very positive, very good. Nutrition side of stuff is going well. It's not too difficult still. I'm, making nice food. Everything's good. Can't complain about that. The exercise is also, it's ramped up now a bit. So I'm going to the gym and running as much as I'm supposed to be within the program. So I'm built up to that now, which feels good. My mental health has improved as well because I realize that I need to exercise to be happy. The release of endorphins, whatever, serotonin, yes please. But yeah, just one thing, I've kind of got a little tweak on the old calf. So I my left calf. I think it was when I was playing badminton, playing in a tournament. Did not go well, not gonna lie, that was not a good tournament. Don't want to talk about it, actually. Anyway, I kind of had a little bit of a pull in the calf, and when I played again the next kind of couple of days after, I kind of really felt it. This whole aging and injury thing is, I've had enough of it. I have kind of gone through my wardrobe. When I don't feel good about myself, I kind of want to wear a tent. So all the clothes that I bought have basically been massive bin liners. Down there, there's a big old pile of clothes. You can see just there. That's there. That's all the stuff that I'm not going to wear anymore. Even if it fits, I look shit in it. I look frumpy. So I've just bought that because I don't want people to see me or whatever. They're all going vintage, recycle, reuse and recycle. That's responsible. That's good. That made me feel good. One thing not so good. Well, it's not that it's not so good. It just played on my mind a bit, and that is my weight on the scales. And it doesn't matter. It's a number on a fucking machine. It doesn't matter. But in my head, I was gone back to kind of how I used to be of it's not working, nothing's happening. But that's not the case. It definitely is. And I feel so much better in myself. The point is it's fine. And I don't need to stress about it. But yeah, that's kind of where I am at the moment. Which is good. I'm feeling better, feeling good. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. That's 6 weeks in the bag, guys. Yeah, these summaries are getting a little samey, aren't they? So yeah, not a lot to tell you about the workouts apart from I am now up to speed doing them all. And again, this was absolutely the right thing to do. The old me would have been chomping at the bit and wanted to run myself into the ground. And I would have gotten really, really fucking injured. Okay, so food. Yeah, that is again staying the same. I'm going to give it another week. So obviously over the last week, I've not really lost a lot. However, I want to see if it's about that plateau or if maybe I just do need to drop the calories a bit more. So my weight, I started at 90.1 kg. So I've lost just under 5 kilograms. But for 6 weeks, that's pretty good. I'm trying not to get in my head about it, and I know that things are working as they should be. So next time we meet Dr. Adrian Rabe. He's got too many letters after his name, this man. We'll also talk about medically what kind of things to be aware of when doing this kind of challenge. And guys, a little bit of a treat for you. Next episode is a Valentine's special. It's going to be cute. There's going to be food. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.